Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for being here. Thank you for taking the time to allow us to introduce ourselves to you and talk at you, stand on top of you a little bit. For some of you know me, for those of you who don't, my name is Dan Nutt. I am running for House District 53. My wife and I are small business owners. We own multiple small businesses sprinkled around the district. Some of you may know, I actually owned and operated some small businesses right here in downtown Amherst. I'm also a real estate investor, developer, and agent, and I was honored to serve 2 terms on City Council, 4th Ward's City of Lorraine, where I sat as the president chair for Buildings and Land in the Finance Committee, the only individual of all of multiple positions. And I also currently serve as the chief deputy auditor for the City of Lorraine. I say service a lot because service is very important to me. As stated before, it is a public servant. They are the servant of the public. That really was instilled in me pretty strongly when I, unfortunately, was no longer around. But the Amherst Rotary Club, when I was part of the Amherst Rotary Club, they have been dissolved since then, unfortunately. But specifically, when I was the president of the Amherst Rotary Club, and I took a group of Libertarians down to San Pedro, Honduras, we did a public school project down there, and it was really crystallized in my mind. And that's one of the reasons why I'm standing in front of you, is because public service is important to me. My background, I think, is uniquely suited to serve as a business owner, public servant, and then also as a government employee. I've not only created the tax dollars, I've appropriated the tax dollars, and I've also audited the tax dollars. So I have a pretty good understanding of the entire situation. What I want to do a little bit more, though, is focus on some of the specifics. As you've heard, I won't really belabor the point of property taxes. Yes, property taxes are important. I think all the high points have been hit. I do believe that we can't bring property tax relief through restructuring the voucher system, as stated before. But also, and I would also add to that if private schools want public dollars, they should have to hit the metrics that public schools have to. Public schools don't get to pick their students. They don't get to pick the most profitable student. Private schools do. I'm not anti-voucher. I'm just more akin to how voucher systems were when they were originally instituted. They're more specific, and the balloon system has stated the drawing out a lot of the funds out of our public school districts. In addition to that, I think what also helps with your property taxes is housing affordability and the limit of residential first bank homes. Now, it's a unique situation because I wouldn't say that we have a property deficit. We have the homes. The problem is a lot of those homes are first-time residential, R1 is what I'm talking about, are actually rental properties. I know it's very specifically in the city of Lorraine, almost 50% of first-time residential R1 homes are rental properties. Now, when I was on city council, one of the things I try to do is actually limit the outside impact of corporations coming from out of state and buying whole swaths of homes. Okay. In Lorraine, again, there was 38 homes that were sold to a corporation out of California. Some of them were on the demo list. The mass majority of them had fines and fees against them from the city. The problem is that the city can't really do anything about it necessarily because they can't get to the actual owner. That's why they're incorporated, sometimes multiple layers work, so you don't actually get any relief. The city has to spend and earn tax dollars in legal fees and actually get anything done. Beyond that, I want to talk about maybe a few other things. One of the things why it's important at Columbus to handle the situation fast is because at city council, I was not able to do that. And city level has to be done at a state level. One of the other things we can also do at a state level is campaign finance reform. At a state level, well-established law, the Supreme Court has ruled that the states give corporations their fundamental rights, their power. We can limit those as pertains to purchasing residential properties. We can also limit those as it pertains to this campaign finance report clause. So we can say that they can't donate to candidates or PACs or any of that situation. A few other things real quick. Are we going to do a Q&A over here? Okay. I just want to hit data centers. I'm for a moratorium. AI, I'm for legislation to protect not only our youth, but also our data. And as far as ICE goes, I'm not just simply defund ICE, I'm abolish ICE. I disagree with their entire implementation after 2001 when they were implemented 2022, 2023. So I don't think it's simply enough that we fund them. I think we should abolish them and we should prohibit them from public government buildings. They should not be allowed in schools, libraries, vote polling centers. If they have a warrant from a judge that's signed, that's no urge. Thank you very much.